Hi guys, this is Sapphire with your manifestation tip and tool for the week. So the tip for this week is to not allow anyone to tell your story. You tell your own story. I say this because so many times people are quick to put their labels on our story. They look at your attempts at life and they deem them as failures because they don't have a vocabulary for them. You should know that this life is supposed to be messy. You're supposed to put your hand and feet in the dirt. You're supposed to try. A person who's standing on the sideline can easily say that your attempts at this life is a failure because they're not trying at all. So you should not get distracted by that. You should look at your attempts as lessons because haven't you learned from them? So I am I'm doing this because this message just jumped out at me. Like, I woke up and the first thing that came across my mind was tell your own story. And this might have been Spirit's way of telling me to finish my book. Me and this book. But I'm finishing it. So this might have been Spirit's way of telling me to finish my book, but this was also a way of encouragement. I took it as a stroke of encouragement because so many times we don't do things because we're afraid of what somebody else might say. You know, they look at the fact that you've tried to fall in love and, you've met the wrong guys. But if you've learned a lesson, is it really failure? And why are we so quick to label things as failures? Because if you met someone, you fell in love, and this did not work, it played out exactly the way that it was supposed to play out. It's not a failure. You learned your lesson. You understand that this is no longer, this person or this situation no longer serves you, and you've learned what you would do different, and you've learned what you now want out of a relationship or a situation or whatever. Stop deeming your attempts to try at this life as failures. That's what makes it so hard for us to get out of bed in the morning. That's what makes us wallow and wallow in depression. Is wallow even a word? But it's what makes us wallow in depression. It's what makes us fall back into, into those feelings of, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to do this again. Like, your greatness, your best life, the most amazing love of your life came after you attempted to fall in love and this situation didn't work out the way that you wanted to. You can't find the man or woman or love or a life of your dreams if you keep standing on the sidelines pointing fingers at somebody else, going, oh, okay, well, this is why this didn't work out for you, or, oh, okay, this is why, this didn't do this for you. Coaches know how to coach because they've played the game. They've got in there and they've attempted to play the game. Your happiness is in your attempts. Your lessons are in your attempts. If your hands are clean and your feet are not dirty and you have not even attempted, how is it that you can point the finger at anybody else or allow someone to point the finger at your life and say that you're a failure? And like I said, this hit home for me on so many levels because, I've been married. And so I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm just gonna dive into it. I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm gonna try. I'm going to attempt to fall in love. That has been my biggest lesson in life ever. I'm going to try to figure out what this love thing is about. I'm going to try to figure out what happiness is about. I'm going to try to figure out what life is about, not on your terms, but on my own terms, in a way that makes me happy. And people don't understand that because so many times people have been living their lives in someone else's shadow or living their lives according to someone else's rules. So my attempts look crazy to somebody else. So it makes me happy. That's all that matters. It makes me happy. Am I happy? Hell fuck yes. Who cares what anybody else thinks? And that's the mindset that you have to have and go after when you are making these attempts in your own life. Whether they're attempts in love or they're attempts in business, does it make you happy? Is that the thing that drives you? Good. Who cares what anybody else thinks? Stop allowing somebody else's half-assed thoughts to dictate what it is that you do in your life. If something inside of you is saying, start your own business, write your book, be the best writer that you're going to be, start a whatever it is that is driving you, do it. There's a reason. And if it doesn't work out the way that you think it works out, you take all of those attempts that you have and you learn your lesson from them, and you go back to the drawing board and you try it again, because that's what life is about. Stop getting lost in someone putting their vocabulary on your life. Tell your own story. Tell your own story. So I tried to make this as quick and simple as possible. I hope that it rang true for somebody. I hope that this opened someone's eyes. I hope that you are feeling inspired, because I know after doing this video, I feel inspired to go finish this book. To go and finish this book, and maybe I will do a video on the lessons that I've learned from, from my marriage, and its downfalls, or the things that I've learned from it not working out the way that I thought it would. Maybe I'll do that. But again, like, comment, share. I am so happy to just help in any way that I can, and I hope this message did help. I'm Sapphire. Thank you so much for listening.